This is always the funny part when you like switch from like the recording, like you're starting and then you like turn it on and you have to start going like in your head. You go like 3, 2, 1, okay.
It was like a thing at the comedy clubs and stuff like that. Was trying to like work yourself up to, oh God, I got to be in front of people and I got to be what? Yeah, it's just It's
the biggest moment.
Just go ahead and start the music so you hear it. It puts you in the mood. There you go.
That's
what
it. Do that. We'll put the music in right here.
Where? People of the internet,
it's Thirsty Thursday on gettingwork.com. I'm Mike.
I'm Brendon.
The logo is right there. It's Thirsty Thursday. It's right above our heads on gettingwork.com. Brendon, how are you?
All right.
He's all right. It's Thanksgiving. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about Thanksgiving. We're going to talk about some foods. We're going to talk about betting.
I mean, the future people, it's Thanksgiving.
It's Thanksgiving by the time you're listening to it. For us, it's the busiest drinking night of the year. The night before Thanksgiving. I just went out and did some of that before we started recording this episode.
Anything good?
I went to Alexandria Brewing Company, so some beer. They do a $5 whiskey night. Ooh. So I got to have some Whistle Pig, some New Riff bourbon for $5 a pour.
Fall on Wednesdays, or does it just happen to be?
No, they do $5 whiskey Wednesday. On Wednesdays they do. It's Wings and Whiskey Wednesday. So for $5, you get a pour of whiskey, and for $5, you can get an order of wings.
That's a hell of a way to
start Thanksgiving. Fucking incredible. Alexandria Brewing Company.
ABC.
The fucking bomb. ABC. I got married there. It's a fucking great place.
You did. I was there.
We're going to talk about food.
What are we talking about?
We're going to talk about drinking. We're going to talk about food. We're going to talk about wrestling, sports.
Thanksgiving food.
Thanksgiving.
Bad food, good food.
But first, what are you drinking?
You want to go shot or my drink of the night?
So
or what are we doing
I need to pour a beer. I'm
you pour your beer.
Parched.
I'll pour my Milagros, and then we will talk.
So you're drinking Milagro.
That's what I got tonight, Milagro. Yeah.
So for me,
silver, always silver.
Ooh, see, that's the best one. Silver tequila. I love a good añejo tequila. I love a good age. I love a good oakiness.
I'm an amazing uncle.
Amazing uncle.
So cool.
Always there for me.
Yeah.
Oh, so, the uncle cup.
Yep. You can guess where that came from.
Oh yeah, the nephews.
One of the school. Well, of course the nephews. It'd be creepy if it was from like you.
And for me, yeah. Hey, Brendon, here's a cup. You're an awesome uncle, man.
Of course, it's from.
I've been watching from afar, and I can tell
that
you're an amazing uncle. So I got you this mug.
So cool. No, I'm sure it is from a Christmas. You remember we talked about it. You've got all your Christmas stuff there from the school boutiques.
Oh, is that from the school store?
It's a school boutique Christmas item that
I bet
I'm drinking straight tequila out of.
And I'm not knocking this, but I'm asking,
somewhere.
Is that glass or is that like a hard acrylic or a plastic? Ooh, that's legit glass?
That's the real shit.
Hell yeah!
Never mind.
Okay, so that's legit glass. You've got the Cool Uncle mug. I've got the Buc-ee's pint glass.
Ooh.
So,
beer on the board?
Beer's on the board today.
Beer's on the board.
That's good. One day we'll have to do a Buc-ee's parody shirt where it's
we were talking about. We were talking about, and I bet we could even record it on video and still make it a video podcast going to Buc-ee's.
The problem is, at a certain point, I'm going to be disgusting eating a barbecue sandwich. I don't want that on camera.
Plus, I'm probably going to be the driver, and I don't want my road rage to be documented.
There's no probably.
What? Oh, yeah, you don't drive.
Yeah, there's no probably. Like, you're driving if we're going, and I'm a passenger princess. People of the internet, just so you know, I'm the passenger princess.
You can order an Uber for us.
How much do you think an Uber would be? From where we are at to Richmond, Kentucky. Hold on. Let's look this up.
Okay, yeah. While you're working on that, my shot. Oh, wait, what's your beer?
So I'm drinking one of my favorite Christmas beers. This time of year, amazing beers come out. And I've got one of my favorites, Rheingeist Dad. It is their Hoppy Holiday Ale. This beer, when I first started getting into craft beer, and when you and I first started working in the bars, this was one of the first, like, event beers. And by event beer, I mean, like, when I started working in the bars was about Oktoberfest time of year, right? Like, I was a security guard, a bar back about September, Oktoberfest. So I got moved up into like bar backing, really working intensely in the bar about Christmas time because I moved up pretty quickly. I'm not trying to blow my own horn, but you watched it.
You worked.
And I
moved.
I showed up and did the job. I was paid to do money, and I earned the money that I was being paid. So with that, the first real time I was part of like, oh, this beer is coming out and going on tap and it's a big deal, was Ryan Guy's dad. It was a release for them. They put out cups and all this kind of merch, and I really had an opportunity to get close to this beer. There's two beers that I would say that I've
this shit's getting emotional.
Gotten close to
goosebumps.
No, like there's two beers that mean a lot to me when it comes to like my discovering of craft beer. Ryan Guy's dad and Deschutes Red Chair. Those are the two beers that if you ask me like, what is a craft beer to me? It's either Deschutes Red Chair, Northwest Pale Ale, or Ryan Guy's dad. But this is a Hoppy Holiday Ale.
I will never forget the first week that we had that beer. Just a girl randomly walks up to the bar and just says, "I need a dad." And I'm like, that sounds terrible at the holidays. You poor thing. Yeah. Watch the guys swarm. Daddy issues.
I was going to say, like, they're in a bar. Someone will walk up to you eventually.
Oh, God.
So I've got a beer. I've got Ryan Guy's dad, Hoppy Holiday Ale. You've got a Milagro.
I got a Milagro, and I've back to Dr. McGillicuddy tonight.
No. Hold on. Wait. What Dr. McGillicuddy?
Intense apple pie.
What the fuck?
Don't tell me you have that bottle sitting there.
I went to the liquor store before this episode.
Tell me you have that bottle sitting
and picked up Dr. McGillicuddy's Intense Apple Pie. We have this is not planned. This is
not planned.
This was not planned. I will put a disclaimer on the episode. This is not a work. We both have the same goddamn bottle. We did not plan this.
Later on the rundown, we have a segment. Are we taking a break from betting? I don't think we can now, man. That we're on the wavelength.
We're on, dude. It's on. I'm betting on Christian McCaffrey to do everything on the planet. He's going to go to the moon this Sunday. Let's go. So, Dr. McGillicuddy's Intense Apple Pie. This is 21% alcohol by volume. That means it's 42 proof.
It shouldn't be bad. It can't be as bad as the menthol mint that I did.
It says serve chilled on the back, and this is so room fucking temperature.
Oh, mine came out of the freezer. I got some.
Contains real apple. Color variation may occur naturally.
Ooh,
bottled by Sazerac, Frankfort, Kentucky.
That's Christmas.
All right, this is Dr. McGillicuddy's apple pie. We talked about this a few weeks ago because you had the menthol mint schnapps.
That was terrible. That's like Christmas.
I didn't know Santa made rubbing alcohol.
That is not rubbing alcohol. You didn't chill it. That's the problem.
Is that the thing? Am I have the warm one? Is that what it's going to be? All right. Cheers.
Oh. I feel like some apple juice went bad. Oh. That's eating an apple off the ground.
I don't know if it's intense.
Ooh, there comes the cinnamon.
I don't know if intense is the word.
It's
more dirty. Apple pie.
You know what? Next week we should drink things that'll be good. I thought that wasn't going to be bad. It's not great.
Only authentic when signed.
What?
It says on it.
Well, that's a fake signature.
That's a printed signature. Only authentic when signed. Let's see. Get focus. Nope. Technology. Nope.
There it is. Almost.
All right. So, oh God.
So it's Thanksgiving for the future people and for us.
We have pie shots.
Wash that away with some Mountain Dew.
God, I need some beer.
I need
All
to
right.
cleanse Mountain Dew palate for my soon-to-be drinking of tequila.
So
Thanksgiving.
tonight or last night, by the time you're listening to this,
If you're
was
watching this over the table with grandma or whatever.
this is great Thanksgiving listening for your family. This is last night was the biggest drinking night of the year. The night before Thanksgiving. Predominantly known as a night where, and the mentality is that's when people go back to their hometowns, they go to their local bars, everybody's got nothing to do, most people are off work or off school or blah. So a big drinking night. When you work in the industry, which we both did, it's the biggest night of the year. I've paid many a month's rent, mortgage, whatever.
I'd say it's a
on
top three.
just a month. You could pay your month's expenses if you're if you work at the right bar in the industry. You could pay your month's worth of expenses on tonight.
If you're in the
Last
right bar,
night.
yeah.
Last
Well,
night.
I would say the same thing for, like, I was also thinking of St. Patty's Day, but I also worked in an Irish pub on St. Patty's Day.
St. Patty's Day is that dice roll though. Yeah, you worked in an Irish pub. I worked not in an Irish pub. I
Yeah.
remember many times I opened.
You usually get the drunks that are coming from the Irish pubs
Or
at the end of
going
the day
to
that
it.
you need to cut out and cut
I
off.
was at a taco place. I was at a taco restaurant and working the bar. And
Was this the one by the brewery?
yes, this was
Okay.
the one right next to Braxton Brewery.
Yeah.
This was me going in at like 6 a.m., setting everything up, getting everything ready to rock, and serving my wife, at that time my girlfriend, and her 4 other friends
You
for about
probably
the
had a good-
first 4 hours of the day.
But you probably rocked Cinco de Mayo and Taco Tuesdays.
Oh, Cinco de Mayo, Taco Tuesdays, and not to mention the place was right across from a hotel.
Yep.
So
That's
dinner
always nice.
dinner service was always intense. Like you could work 3 dinner services at my bar and probably pay your rent.
That's nice.
Because it was a wait out the door, and all you were doing was cranking margaritas. So you were making a decent wage off of just what the servers were tipping out to the bar.
And then we got to experience what it was like to be hungover with our families on Thanksgiving the next day.
Thanksgiving's always so interesting for people that work in the industry because you just busted your ass.
Yeah.
You just worked harder than you've ever worked. You probably got home at 5 o'clock, 8 in the morning, 6. I think a Thanksgiving or two, I pulled a 7 a.m.er.
By
Getting
the end
home.
of the time that we were working, we were responsible for counting the money. So yeah, we weren't one of the first ones to leave. We were usually one of the last ones to leave.
You and I were both running the bars that we were working at a certain point. So like counting the drawer, closing the place up, being the last one out the door.
We always thought we wanted to do that until we watched everyone else go home.
Working in the bar industry is wonderful. Running the bar industry is where you have to have a real passion for it. That's where it's not just about, oh, I love the bar industry. It's about, okay, I love business and the
Passion will
bar
be
industry.
killed.
No, and maybe not kill, but
killed.
you just have to be
Yeah.
prepared for that.
There
Like,
will be a burnout. There will be.
I wish I knew now what I knew 10 years ago.
Oh,
Or
yeah.
I wish 10 years ago I knew what I knew now. Reverse that. So, and by that I mean, like, you and I can probably both attest to this. When you're like a bartender or a head bartender, life lessons, by the way, listeners, life lessons coming down the pipe. When you're a bartender or you're a head bartender, and then eventually someone's gonna walk up to you and go, "Hey, you want to be the bar manager?"
Yeah.
Like that's gonna happen. It happened to me and it happened to you.
You want to spend a lot of time in a closet by yourself counting liquor bottles?
You want to spend 5, 6, 7 hours every week just counting. You want to be the person responsible for when the fact that you didn't sell the keg of Miller High Life and you got to order more. Like, that's the thing you had to realize as you moved into that phase of, okay, this is just the passion and the art. Now I have to actually add the numbers and the business and the responsibility aspect on it. I can't just stand behind the bar and be like, hey, look at me. I'm good at making drinks.
Or you're responsible for accidentally ordering a raspberry sour mash porter from a place that doesn't exist anymore, and it just nobody likes anything other than a taste of it.
Raspberry Sour Mash Porter. Was that from Blank Slate Brewing?
No.
No.
Listerman.
Listerman.
I'm pretty sure it was Listerman, and I believe it was called Piquant.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that one. Everybody like loved the taste, but then could not do anything past that. Like, oh, that's interesting. I'll have Country Boy Cougar Bait. Yeah, we'll go with
That's
that.
always the risk with putting like those 12-14% barrel-aged beers on. Like that's always a risk with putting like one of those high ABV beers on. Somebody might be like, "Oh, let me taste it." Nope, I can't do a whole thing. I can't do a whole glass of that.
Yeah, right.
It feels a lot like Thanksgiving food, which brings us back to the idea of it is Thanksgiving, and one thing we wanted to talk about is Thanksgiving food. What the fuck is that? How do you have a plate of food?
So,
hold on. We're recording this the night before Thanksgiving. How do you have a plate of turkey and sides?
my brother and his family. Well,
that's you're eating your brother?
No.
Okay.
He made the turkey, and it's delicious. They are doing a dinner with her side of the family, with the nephews and everything. So we did our family Thanksgiving on Saturday. Still have some leftovers. Worked on a turkey sandwich yesterday that was like my second fattest moment I can remember. I covered a turkey sandwich in mayonnaise, like more mayonnaise than I should have, and then poured gravy all over it and kept slopping up gravy with it. The other fattest time, let me tell you this one.
Well, first off, let's just say there's no such thing as too much mayonnaise on the turkey sandwich.
I know, and lots of salt and pepper.
Oh
yeah.
Put all the pepper on that, and
all the pepper and mayonnaise. That's really all you need. If you can get a piece of lettuce, awesome. But
sidebar, I had a pepper shaker explode on my wife today.
How do you do that?
I was putting last night I was putting pepper on my food.
Yes.
She made pasta. She made a delicious sausage tortellini. And I like salt on some salt on my food, but I like pepper on my food.
Oh yeah.
And we have the grinder that you just grind the pepper on. But you bought it at the store. Like it's you take the package off and you just start grinding and it's ready to rock.
Yeah.
I was giving it to like 1, 2, 3, and the third grind, as soon as I pulled it, the top came off. And when I realized the top came off, my wrist snapped up straight.
Oh.
And when my wrist snapped up straight, an arc of pepper went across. I maced my wife.
That's kind of amazing. But yeah, you better get an extra. One more Christmas present coming.
That's what she's got plenty coming, and one more for the pepper. But that's to say that I love my pepper, and so you're eating a plate of Thanksgiving food.
Yes.
What's on your plate right now? What's on that plate?
What I have are mashed potatoes with gravy, turkey with some gravy, green beans with some ham in there, and then stuffing. I have 2 different types of stuffing. We do a outside the bird stuffing, and Mom, the one that she made, is one of my favorite things I've ever had. It was a mushroom and leek stuffing that was fantastic. Like so. Is it stuffing if
it's not? So here's the thing. When does stuffing become dressing?
Okay, maybe it's dressing. Because the other one we did was like a, turkey butt bread. And we had the butt bread meal.
We're going to rename this podcast. Turkey butt bread.
Turkey butt bread.
Gettingwork.com. Turkey butt bread.
Yeah. But, oh my God, the mushroom and leek was so good. But then the turkey butt bread is also good. And
leeks are leeks are interesting to me. Because they're like whiny onions.
They're big onions.
They're big onions, but they're like if
they're mild, they're tasty, like a potato leek soup. Mwah.
They feel like if onions drank Chardonnay.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, they're the wine mom of onions.
I definitely used to enjoy a portobello dish with a leek cream sauce, and we would sop it up with our.
See, you would sop up a leek
cream sauce.
So
okay.
Thanksgiving food.
What are your yeah. Now there are, I pretty much love everything. I think my other fattest moment.
Because you already talked about the turkey sandwich that you sopped up with the gravy.
Yeah. This one was not too long ago. A friend of mine came back from Wisconsin when he had moved up there, and he brought me Bucky Badger cheese curds, Cajun. And I found myself one night.
Hold on. The name Bucky Badger
Yep.
cheese curds Cajun. Is that
Cajun flavored Bucky Badger? They have Bucky Badger cheese curds, and you can get Cajun or you can get regular.
Okay, I thought you were it was like Terminator 2 director's cut. Bucky Badger nuggets or Bucky Badger.
No, you don't want the Badger nuggets. That's a completely different thing.
What is Badger?
Bucky Badger cheese curds.
Cajun
flavors.
Cajun flavored Bucky Badger cheese curds.
Yes.
Okay.
They're like orange cheese curds. And if you find yourself one night all by yourself with your cats watching Family Guy, individually dolloping cheese curds with ranch dressing while Peter Griffin cries about being a fatty, it kind of, it got to me.
So you just eat the cheese curd just cold and solid with a dollop of ranch?
So good. Oh, yeah.
Is it like the cheese stick effect? Like, essentially, does it like break apart? Is it like mozzarella? Like
they squeak.
I've had a fried cheese curd. I've had plenty of fried cheese curds, breading and shit on them. But I've never just like eaten a cheese curd with nothing, with no home. I've never eaten like homeless cheese curds.
Homeless cheese curds. That could be a name of an episode too.
That's the name of this episode. So I've never eaten like a cheese curd without like security.
Gotcha.
And like credit.
Yeah. No, they're delicious. Absolutely delicious.
They squeak?
Yeah, they kind of.
What do you mean? This like when you eat them?
You know how like you get squeaky clean?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can. They squeak.
Okay. So that's what you ate for Thanksgiving?
No. That was just from another time.
Okay.
We're talking about when I felt the only other time I felt fat. It's a thing that happened. Tell me about your Thanksgiving. What do you enjoy?
So after this episode finishes, you and I record this episode, I am jumping back into turkey mode.
Yes.
We are cooking 3 birds. My mother-in-law, love her.
Oh, there's a butt coming.
There's no butt.
Oh, no butt?
Loves an oven roasted bird.
She has no butt?
No, she has...
Don't talk about your mother-in-law. Don't you dare edit this. Don't you edit this. Thing out. You're a coward.
So, I love my mother-in-law. But she bought a bird that we're going to do as like an oven bird. A classic bird. We're doing like I've been getting into like barbecue and all this stuff, and I've heard this term called the Norman Rockwell. The idea of the perfectly presented oven roasted bird. You know what I'm talking about? Like when you think like of the classic. Exactly. So like the Norman Rockwell. So we're doing one bird that's a Norman Rockwell.
Okay.
We're doing one bird that's going to be it's going to be a Monet. I'm going to pull my pants down. I'm going to rub my butt on it. No. So we're doing one bird that we're going to smoke. I'm going to cut the spinal cord out of it. I'm going to spatchcock it.
Oh.
It's brutal.
Good term.
Spatchcocking, for those of you who don't know, spatchcocking, you cut the spinal cord out of the bird, flip it over, and push on its chest to shatter its ribcage and breastbone. That's the goal. I'm going to cut your spinal cord out, hold it up like Sub-Zero. I do that every time. Then I'm going to flip you over and press on your chest until everything crumbles. Something happened to where you muted.
I did mute myself. I just forgot to unmute myself. I didn't want you guys to hear me chewing. I just said, while you cook, do you actually like say fatality?
I need to start doing that. I need to start announcing when the bird has been
round 1
processed.
Fight.
So we're doing the one smoked bird. And that one I'm just going to rub with butter and barbecue seasoning, and I'm going to throw it in the smoker for about 9 hours.
Nice.
Then we're also doing a turkey breast. So not a whole bird. The third bird is just a turkey breast. But I'm following a recipe from meatchurch.com. Where meatchurch.com. It's the barbecue company that I worship and follow. I buy all their bullshit.
Really? Good rubs and stuff?
Oh, amazing seasonings. I'm actually doing a turkey brine Right now downstairs, I got a pot of brine cooling. It came in this bag. It's like a salt seasoning solution. Pour it in water, dissolve it, and now I gotta let it cool completely. That's gonna get poured on the bird. YouTube. Started looking up barbecue, and Meat Church is really popular. I started following all of their stuff. I have all their seasonings. I got shirts and hats and like stickers, and it's the company I go to for barbecue stuff.
They could be though.
So, brining the bird. Like right now, the brine is downstairs in a pot cooling. After we record, I'm gonna go and take the turkeys, put them in a bucket. I got a big, gigantic brewer's bucket. I'm gonna put the turkey in there, pour the solution in there, put more water on top of it, brine it overnight, and then tomorrow take them out, rinse them off, pat them dry, cut them apart, smoke them.
Nice.
But the Cajun breast, I'm gonna inject with Creole butter, or it's turkey breast. I'm gonna inject it with Creole butter. I'm gonna cover it in Cajun seasoning and smoke it. So we're essentially gonna have 3 different types of turkey today, Thanksgiving. For me, and I'll be honest, the idea for me, it's all about the task, the work, the cooking, the planning, the execution. By the time the food's done cooking, dude, I'm probably going to be off hiding somewhere. Like, I'm going to be somewhere in my house sitting down like, okay, I need a minute.
Hugging your knees, crying.
Oh, like it's done. It's good. It's all completed. But it's also the goal of an accomplishment. It's the idea of like, I'm going to do a thing. I'm going to cook the meat, feed the family. And that's honestly super fucking rewarding for Thanksgiving. But
you were like the worst hunter-gatherer.
Why is that?
Because usually it would be, I will provide the meat. No, I cook the meat. Because I just want to see you like, I want you kayaking. And I want you fishing. I want you in the woods with me.
No, I want to go to the store. I want to buy the things. And then I want to put them in the machine that's plugged in. And then I'm going to wait and drink beer for 8 hours.
And then I'm going to pull it out.
That's the main reason it's a great activity, smoking meat.
You should never drink beer for 8 hours and pull it out. That's how you get in trouble.
That's how other things happen. But really,
is there a food that you don't like to cook, or is there a food you dislike? Like, what is your...
When it comes to Thanksgiving, I'm pretty open to all things. Here's the thing.
Come on, what's overrated?
Mashed potatoes.
Whose feelings are you trying to... What?
I love mashed potatoes. They're delicious.
Yeah?
But on Thanksgiving, I'm very tactical with my mashed potatoes. Dude, that's starch and filler. That's stopping me from eating the other things. Honestly, my favorite foods in Thanksgiving involve butter, crunchy, and cheesy. If you give me like a broccoli casserole or like a cauliflower casserole or like some kind of casserole that's got like cheese and crunchiness and vegetables in it, dude, I'm going to scoop that all day.
Nice.
If you give me corn pudding.
Oh, corn pudding.
I'm going to eat the motherfuck out of it. My mother-in-law makes this corn pudding where I think it's just like corn and cream corn and some kind of like cornbread. I don't know what it is, but it
kind of like puffy top on. Yeah, my grandmother used to make the best corn pudding. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that was so good. And her gravy, like I love gravy.
So we bought our gravy.
But there is one thing that I did not ever like, and I just could never try, and is one of my no-nos on Thanksgiving. And it's a food that I don't find. I think it's overrated.
What's that?
Sweet potatoes or yams or candied yams.
Really?
Yes, 100% out.
So
No.
I'm going to ask.
Okay.
Are you referring to just traditional, like when we talk about
every single
yams, like
every single type
yams,
of serving,
marshmallow, baked?
Yep.
You don't like that?
Out.
What about the souffle version?
Are there sweet potatoes or yams in it? I'm out.
So it's a sweet potato thing.
Yeah.
Okay, so it doesn't matter.
Yams and sweet potato, right?
Because some people do one where they'll make it almost like a casserole. It's almost got like a baked cakeness to it with crumbled pecans on the top, and sometimes
Yeah, why are you
people
putting
put, like,
goddamn s'mores on the top? Fucking stop.
s'mores? No. I'm not, so
Oh,
what?
I've seen the marshmallows.
So what about without the marshmallows? So what if it was like a sweet potato casserole with no marshmallows? What if it's got like brown sugar and pecans on the top?
No, I like marshmallows. Get the fucking yams off of them.
So it's a sweet potato.
And I don't want your pecans either.
So you don't eat sweet potatoes.
Right.
You want a baked sweet potato.
No.
You want a sweet potato pie.
No. Sweet potato fries? Quit fucking up fries.
I agree with that. Sweet potato fry. I don't understand the sweet potato fry.
Yeah, no, stop.
It's not that sweet.
It's too
They're
much.
never crispy. They're never crunchy. They're always too soft and soggy. Stop making sweet potato fries.
Yes, thank you.
Stop it.
Bad.
They're not good. Regular fries. Anyway.
All right. What else is going on?
So you don't like sweet potatoes with marshmallows on top.
Right.
How do you feel about a Brussels sprout?
Love a Brussels sprout.
Okay, a Brussels sprout with some bacon.
Oh, bacon.
Maybe
yeah,
some
yeah.
cheese.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
What do you think about alternate meat?
Well, that sounds like something that's created in a lab.
What's the main meat on Thanksgiving?
Turkey.
What's the
But I can
other
see a
meat
ham.
people? That's my question. What do you feel about ham on Thanksgiving? Are you if there's a ham?
Ham's usually a breakfast thing for me.
How much ham are you getting?
Well, here's the thing. Tomorrow, instead of the traditional Thanksgiving, because we've already done ours, we're going to have prime rib. Dad's making a prime rib.
Well,
My
fuck
mom's
you.
making a prime rib.
Well,
and we're going to
fuck
do prime
you.
rib and some horse. Oh, yeah.
Fuck you eating prime rib. I'm going to Brendon's.
Okay. Bring some of that Cajun turkey and we'll talk.
God damn. Prime rib?
I'll send you pictures. We'll put it in the story with a picture of you looking sad.
So, you're eating prime rib.
Right now, I'm eating turkey.
No, okay, so you're eating prime rib.
Tomorrow will be prime rib.
Let's say you go there and you go to Thanksgiving. There's turkey, there's prime rib, and there's ham. Now, you know all of your family has meticulously worked over all of this. How much ham are you putting on your plate?
A slice.
A slice? Are you finishing that slice, or is that just like a stunt slice?
Sure. No. I'll just lay low on the sides.
So you're gonna sacrifice sides for ham?
I'm a carnivore, 100%. I don't need sides.
No. What?
I mean, I will eat them. They are good. But
Buddy.
the meat's going to disappear first. And then I'll get to the sides at some point.
I will throw your ham out a window to make space for a green bean casserole.
I got green beans with some ham.
No,
you gotta have meat and
casserole. Casserole. You don't. Thanksgiving is not the time for your regular green beans. I want a casserole.
Nope, green bean with some ham.
Mix some soup and put some soup mix in there. And put some fried onions on top of that bitch and bake that motherfucker. Don't come to me with just straight green beans on Thanksgiving. That's Easter. Easter is just like ham and green beans. No. Thanksgiving, if you serve me a green bean, it better be casseroled.
Noted.
So, I'm going to eat casserole. That's going to be my main go-to. That's always the thing that I cook 3 turkeys. But I'm going to fucking eat so much casserole.
We are going to be eating a lot of our sadness away, I think.
I'm eating so much sadness right now, man. I'll tell you that right now. Last time we talked, last week on this fucking show.
We had so much hope.
I started a new betting app.
Yeah, you did. I still
ESPNBET.
I haven't tried it yet. I still have some free apps.
Don't.
What happened?
Don't.
What happened?
No. I will. I'm going on the bandwagon now. I don't care if it's a bandwagon. I'll start the wagon, own the wagon. ESPNBet, fuck you. All right. I already deactivated my account. I fucking went through your fucking free bets. Your app doesn't make sense. I don't understand what the odds are. There's no live checks on anything. Let's say that you got LeBron James for 30 points.
Yeah,
You don't know if he
I
has.
wouldn't take him for over 20.
You don't, but you don't know if he's got one or 100. There's no like guide of okay, you're this close. You place your bet, and it's either it won or it lost when it's 7.
That's why I like FanDuel and DraftKings a lot. Bet365 does it a little bit, but I've leaned out of that. I mean, I've leaned away from everything.
Bet365 is on. I'll agree with you there. Like I've scaled it back so much. I'm leaning away from Bet365.
Did our prop bets curse Joe Burrow?
I've sworn off betting on the Bengals.
Oh man. Although I have a theory. I have another theory. It's the 49ers voodoo magic.
Explain.
Okay. I have notes. Week 7. Oh, wait. Week 6.
Week 6.
Yes. 49ers go into it undefeated. They get beaten by the Browns.
Mm-hmm.
Week 7, they get beaten by the Vikings. Week 8, they get beaten by the Bengals. All of those teams within 2 to 4 weeks will then lose their quarterback for the rest of the season. So who's making voodoo dolls in San Francisco that like Kirk Cousins from the Vikings gone, Deshaun Watson gone, Joe Burrow gone, the 3 quarterbacks that beat the 49ers are all of a sudden done for the season? That's a conspiracy. Something's going on.
George Kittle. I blame you.
Kittle? I didn't bet on him this week. Tomorrow.
So the thing with that though, it feels like too much pressure between the bets, the teams, the contract, the hype. This seems like the end result of too much pressure, too quick, and honestly, man, just dumb fucking luck. Burrow's out for the rest of the season. Last time we recorded an episode, we were so hyped. It was right before the game. Which, as soon as we got off this podcast after the last episode, we went and watched the game, and Joe Burrow proceeded to tear a tendon in his hand and is now out for the rest of the season.
Yep.
And we've lost Cam Taylor-Britt for a few games, and Sam Hubbard just now started practicing, and T. Higgins is still out. And honestly, the Bengals are not in the best shape. But here's what's up. Go ahead. You have
I have no confidence in any of the futures that I placed on them anymore.
I have no confidence that they're going to the Super Bowl. But honestly, at the end of the day, we're fucking Bengals fans.
We've dealt with worse.
I survived the fucking Andy Dalton era. I survived Tyler Eifert leaving. Like,
I have an Eifert jersey.
There's worse shit that could have happened to that team. So we talk about, the curse, Joe Burrow getting hurt, but at the end of the day, what's his replacement's name? It's number 6 because he's
something
9.
Bridge. Something. No.
Either way,
Goodridge. Is it Goodridge?
No, not even close.
I think it's Goodridge.
So either way, Joe Burrow's replacement has an opportunity to go in and take the Steelers on and hopefully beat the Steelers. I'm not writing us off yet because if you think about it,
who the fuck is Goodridge, and why would I say Goodridge? It's Browning.
Jake Browning. Goodrich. Who the fuck is Goodrich?
I have no idea. It sounds like an explorer. Goodrich making his way through the savannah.
So Goodrich isn't the new quarterback. It's Jake Browning. And when you think about it, we have 2 options. We curl up and we cry for the rest of the season, or we cheer on Jake Browning. Once again, It's not the Cincinnati Burrows. It's the Cincinnati Bengals. So
listen to you getting all like Jerry Springer's final thought in here.
Hey, we got to believe in something. We still got Jamar Chase. We still got Joe Mixon. Like Hubbard just practiced today. He's on his way back. Things are looking better. There's no reason for us to write the season off yet.
Well, I want to write my bets off because you, as you told me, ESPN app bent you over. Um,
I have
me,
a
I
ESPN size hole in my ass right now.
I dealt with heartbreak.
Yeah.
5 of 6 parlays hit. The one that doesn't was for over 40 points, landed on 38. The same night. This one here for over 41 and a half, 40 points. 41 points. Yes, it was 27 to 14. So yeah, I missed it by a half point. These odds makers, they know what they're doing. Those are really good at their jobs sometimes.
Man, they. How often do you like just take suggested bets? The ones where
Not
they're
as
like,
often
hey,
as I
hey,
used
hey,
to.
here's a parlay.
Not as often as I used to. I took one recently that was tempting because they had kind of boosted it.
I'll edit. I'll take a
Yeah.
boost and I'll edit. I'll take somebody off and take less money.
Yeah.
Because at least with FanDuel and 365, you don't lose the boost if you take it and you remove a leg. Like, that doesn't remove the boost, at least.
Yeah.
ESPN, it probably does. I don't know, because fuck that fucking app. I've never been so confused using a betting app. Like, it was fucking terrible. But anyway, so I'll take some of the suggested bets, and every once in a while I'll take one and edit it. But also, those are the ones where, like you said, oh, it's within 2 points.
Oh, so close.
2
too.
points away.
And it was painful to watch because they were at a point in the game where they could kick a field goal and win me my money.
Yeah.
But they needed a touchdown to win. So I'm watching them inside the 20-yard line attempt touchdowns and fail. And, like, the pain was just terrible. So you're not giving up, though? You got any
No.
bets going right now?
I've got a couple of bets going.
You got anything for tomorrow, the Thanksgiving
I
Day?
do.
Yeah, Thanksgiving Day games. Got it.
I picked up, once again, talking about the bets that they offer you. I picked up a bet on FanDuel. It is any 3 of these players need to score 2 plus touchdowns. Let me get these names right. Jay Gibbs, CeeDee Lamb, Amon-Ra St. Brown, and Deebo Samuel. If any 3 of those people score more than 2 touchdowns, my $3 turns into $330. I used a free bet. I got a bonus bet because I placed on. That's probably a bonus bet from the Bengals because I bet on Burrow.
Yep.
And Burrow got hurt. So most of the companies gave out bonus bets because he wasn't put on the IR before that fucking game.
I will.
Yeah.
I will say that the thing I do like about FanDuel and DraftKings is the no sweat bet, the $5 max no sweat, because
Explain
that's
what no
what I
sweat
place.
bet means to
No sweat bet.
somebody who doesn't know.
That is where once a day on DraftKings, and I think most of the time, or certain events on FanDuel, you can place a bet, and if your bet loses, they will give you a bet up to $5. So basically, don't use it for a $20, but I use it on all $5 bets, a no sweat bet. So that way, if the bet hits, awesome, I win. If the bet loses, they send you another $5 bonus bet to use. So no sweat on that first one.
Exactly.
You're going to get a bonus.
Exactly. It's their way of enticing users to make bets
And
but
losers.
providing them a safety net.
If they lose, which I do.
And that's the thing, you have to be ready to lose. Like, betting is new in our state. I've had a few people ask me, like, "Oh, hey, man, like, getting into it, what should I know?" And like, the thing I keep saying is, like, you have to be ready to lose bets. Like, you're not gonna win all your bets. You're not gonna win most of your bets.
My nephews were going to have a good Christmas. Now I'm going to get one of them like a can of cream of mushroom soup, and the other one some ramen. Like,
See, if you get one of them, if you got instead of ramen, if you get them French fried onions,
ooh,
you're almost to a casserole.
I'll get my niece the green beans.
There you go. And
They can make a
there you go.
casserole.
Merry Christmas, kids. What do you get? Casserole. You just gotta make it.
Yeah, it's an IKEA casserole.
Somebody's got to go find butter, but
There
go
you
knock
go.
on all the doors. Someone in the neighborhood has butter. So
what's your bet?
my bet.
Oh yeah,
is-
you had any of those three.
That's the
Mine
one I'm
for
going.
tomorrow-
That's the one I'm going with. Those 2 touchdowns on Gibbs, Lamb, St. Brown, and Samuel.
Mine is a little bit of a combination. These four will be your scorers tomorrow: Christian McCaffrey, Brian Robinson, Amon-Ra St. Brown, and David Montgomery.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So just one touchdown out of each of them. That's all we need.
It's not bad.
Not terrible.
I think that'll happen.
I actually also, for the first time in a little while, played a 5-leg parlay this weekend on the Gallagher Premier League Rugby.
You said a bunch of words. The
Yes.
Gallagher.
Gallagher, like Gallagher.
Gallagher? But how'd you say it?
Gallagher.
Gallagher?
Her. Yeah.
Her?
That's how I've heard it.
With an H?
Gallagher.
Not a G? With an H?
Yeah.
Okay. Gallagher.
That's how I've
Premier
heard it pronounced.
Rugby.
It could be completely wrong. We've been drinking. Yes, but in those games, I took the spread for the Harlequins against Northampton.
What great
Say-
names. The Harlequins
Yes.
versus
The
Northampton.
Quins. Yes.
The Quins?
Yes.
Why can't more teams
Harlequins.
have great names like
You should
that?
see
The
their kits.
Harlequins. We call them
They
the
look like
Quins.
their kits look exactly like you would think, like Harlequins, like diamond pattern, jester, like oh yeah, look up the Harlequins
I'm going to
kits.
look this up real quick while you're talking about
The
this.
second one, I'm going to take the spread for -5, the Sale Sharks over Bath. Saracens over Bristol.
Where
the
are these
spread.
Harlequins from?
Just type in Harlequins Rugby. Leicester over Gloucester. And Exeter over Newcastle.
Oh, they really do have like checker print,
Yeah,
Like-
like a jester.
court jester,
Harlequin.
Harlequin style
Harlequin, yeah.
costumes.
Don't call them
Oh, wow.
costumes.
What do you mean?
It's a jersey. It's a kit.
It's you call it a kit. Why is costume more insulting than kit?
I don't know. In soccer and rugby, they call them kits.
Okay, well
This is
then
a kit.
they're kit.
Well, actually, the kit is more referring to the full kit. Whatever.
Wait, what's a full kit?
Well, we call them full kit wankers, and that's when somebody shows up to a game wearing the full kit. Like, picture showing up to the Bengals game, but you're also wearing the pants.
Oh,
Full kit wankers come in the team
Is-
shorts and the team shirt, maybe even the socks. I mean, that's a real full kit wanker.
Is a full kit wanker the soccer equivalent of going to a wrestling show with like the replica belt?
Oh,
It would be the replica belt, but then also like Seth Rollins' pants.
yeah.
Or Cody's
yeah, this
pants.
Yeah. Yeah, it would have to be really over the top.
So with wrestling, I wanted to talk about this.
Yeah.
Your boy,
Boy, bruv.
Bruv,
Oh,
Will Ospreay,
I wore it for that reason.
the
All elite.
the master of the casual tongue. I'm going to call it the casual tongue.
He might be the most cockney motherfucker I've ever heard. Like,
Man, you gotta
very
be gotta
cocky.
be ready
Oi.
to pay full attention when he cuts a promo.
when he really gets into it, yeah. Because I've heard him talk on podcasts. He just turns it up to like, I mean, it's truly turning somebody up to 11.
He doesn't do the Jay White thing. We'll talk about Jay White. He doesn't do the Jay White thing where the
He almost
aggression
tells a story.
muddles.
He's almost like a young Shatner.
But then he says, "Don't you want?" He always asks the crowd if they want to listen and want to go. Like he does that ascending vocal thing,
Yeah.
as
we'll
opposed
get
to Jay White, which to me is
Will
more
Ospreay.
of the Will Ospreay for me is the
yeah.
ascending vocal.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
da-na-na, na-na-na, na-na-na. Jay White to me is, dude, grating. Just
Yeah, you don't
painful
like
to
it?
listen to it sometimes.
Really?
Oh, God. Every time I told you, because what you don't know is to breathe with the switchblade. Oh, I tell you, I'm trying. Like, it's always up here, and it always sounds like his nose is really stuffed. And every time, I'll tell you. And then he'll say something kind of in between, like make a reference, and then go right back into yelling.
I don't know if I agree with you.
Really?
I like Jay White's promos.
I can't do it.
I think he's being buried, unfortunately.
I disagree with that. Do you think he's being buried?
He got beat by he couldn't beat a one-legged MJF with the help of his boy. Like, they had him carry a title that wasn't his, only to have it taken away. Like, they made him like a fake hit. Oh, I don't know. But I have a theory on how they could turn it around, and I think the Continental Classic might just be for him.
Fuck. The Continental Classic.
Well, they're going to use it as a way to unite 3 federations where this person can defend all 3 belts, because Eddie Kingston is putting up the Ring of Honor and the New Japan Strong titles, and it's going to be combined with a 3rd, and the person will be an automatic Triple Crown champion. But you could use it for the best storyline way to get Jay White a loophole to get back into New Japan and mess with Finlay, and that's just the way I'm seeing things.
I'm not super into the Continental Classic because
I like the idea of it. It's very New Japan, like round robin, no cheating, no people at ringside, actually have wrestling matches. Depending on who all they put in there, we could get like Shibata.
When are they going to explain the rules?
They'll get to it. They're still
they'll get to it.
They're still announcing the wrestlers.
They have a tournament before they announce here's everybody in it, and then we'll get around.
It's a round
how
robin.
the rules work.
There's 2 sides and there's a round robin.
I know how it works.
Well, then how do you know? Because
That's my point. They put together a whole tournament, blocks, colors, blue and gold. The content, a great name. Champions Carnival, Continental Classic, CC. I get what he's doing. He's ripping off old Japanese wrestling, the Champions Carnival. I get that.
Okay.
He's ripping off the G1. I get that. We still live in a world where random dudes and random women are scrolling through their television and they're going to go, wrestling. Okay, let me turn on wrestling. You and I both know the rules of a G1 style tournament. It's a points collection system. It's not about winning the matches necessarily. It's about winning the points.
And I would say people who actually have seen other sports and things like that could grasp it.
Who is wrestling going after? Sports fans or TV people?
You get a little bit of both in this.
Right, but who's going to understand the rules?
Do you?
I do. Because I've watched more Japanese wrestling than the average nerd.
Yeah, there you go.
Me. But that's what I'm saying. Like, it could be a great opportunity for somebody if it was just a tournament. Just a tournament. Don't do the block style G1.
There's too many tournaments. Bring a block style.
Whose fault is that?
Over to this is the first time they're having one over here. Whose fault is that? King of the Ring and all the other we're gonna have a one night. There's just so many tournaments.
There's so many AEW tournaments, and they've still never been able to explain to me what an eliminator match is.
It just means if you beat the champ, you have to wrestle them again, and then you get a chance at the title.
So a match. So a match.
Yep. It's
a normal match.
Yep. There you go.
That's my point. Like, you gotta, we gotta. I love the concept of the Continental Classic. I'm not knocking the Continental Classic.
I think he is.
I'm saying, dude, AEW's got to get people watching the fucking show. You got to have a simpler concept than a Continental Classic. Yeah, like they do a ton of tournaments. I'm concerned that all of the stuff is going to get lost in the tournament structure. I have a feeling that there's going to be people that are going to tune in and go, why is that person winning? Because I tuned in 2 weeks ago and saw them get pinned.
Well, hopefully they will, throughout the matches, be good at keeping the standings and the running things on the board. You got to have graphics. Graphics, baby.
Well, we got to have graphics, AEW. You heard it here first.
Graphics.
It's all on the graphics.
Does Will Ospreay win the title in Wembley Stadium? Does that feel what this is leading to?
I think you signed him to put the belt on him.
That's
an AEW champion.
Yeah.
Like
he finally gets to be on weekly TV.
He said no to WWE for a reason. Money's
he still gets
money.
To have his family and where they are.
Money's money. But they're giving him things that WWE can't give him. And honestly,
the ability to go back to New Japan.
The schedule and all of that stuff, but also WWE's not going to tell you get the belt in a year. You get the belt in 2 years. That's not from what I understand, that's not how that company works. AEW, Tony Khan, I 1000% could believe that he looked Will Ospreay in the face and said, next year you'll get the belt.
Yeah, I can see that.
And I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I'm not saying that's bad business. I'm not saying that's a bad way to run a wrestling company. But you can 100% see why Will Ospreay went to AEW. Like, he's going to get the chances that he wants way sooner.
And also, I would say, no matter who's on what roster and things like that, like, I only see a few matchups for Will Ospreay in WWE that would be exciting and up Ospreay's alley. Whereas I could see him, I mean, we could get Zack Sabre Jr., just with crossovers. We could get Shibata. We could get Bryan Danielson. We could get Omega and Ospreay again. We could get Takeshita and Ospreay. I mean, there's so many matches that just fit. It's more Japanese guy. I mean, the style.
The last Ospreay Omega match. Wait, was it Ospreay Omega?
Yeah, when Ospreay beat him.
That was the moment that
was great.
Or was it Ospreay Jericho?
Ospreay Omega was the first one where he.
Ospreay Jericho was in the summer, right?
It was after the Ospreay Omega.
Yeah, I think Ospreay Jericho was the moment Yes, it was Wembley. It was Wembley. Yes, it was all in at Wembley. Ospreay Jericho.
He wasn't there. Was he at Wembley?
Who did he wrestle at Wembley? He wrestled somebody. Ospreay. I think it was either way. Ospreay. This year was when I finally bought into Will Ospreay. I'll be honest with you, most of his career I didn't give a fuck. To me, he's just a flippy dude. But this year was the year that I really realized, like, okay, he has improved his craft. He's figured out what he can do, and he's actually made himself into a wrestler.
Oh, if you look back at like the old Ricochet Ospreay thing, which I know he hates to be always referred to as that thing because he looks like a completely different person. He's built completely different. Now he's a big badass, but can still do some. I mean, he can still keep the aerialist. He's a more evolved AJ Styles in AJ's prime, I think. I almost think Will Ospreay's got to be top 5 in the world, and if not he might be the best in the world right now. He might be where Omega was at his peak. Like this current iteration of Will Ospreay, maybe a few years ago, no, but it might be. It is his best time to get on like the world stage.
It's going to be interesting to see what he does with that time because we're not going to see him until next year. He has to finish out his New Japan contract for the
which I thought was
2023.
Cool. Yeah,
it's cool. It was also weird to me. Like your big signing was somebody who's already been working on these shows for like a year.
Yeah, but you're now locking him down.
And he still has to finish out his old contract before he can come over full time. I'm not knocking.
Yes, you are.
The results of the announcement. But I think Tony Khan needs to scale back the announcements. Everything can't be a world-changing announcement. You could have just said, well, next year Will Ospreay's coming on Twitter. You could have just put out a post.
No, you need Ospreay to walk out there. He wants to do it on his own terms and say, "Hey,
I
I'll
get
be
that.
here."
I get that for him. But eventually we're going to hit that point of Tony Khan announcement fatigue. Hey, big announcement coming. No, it's not.
Okay, well, Ospreay was a big announcement.
Yeah, that was a big
one. He
one.
announces Dolph Ziggler. I will be upset.
Well, we'll be tuning in next week to see how Brendon feels about Dolph Ziggler.
Maybe.
How
do you feel about...
That's coming in like the next week. I promise you.
Probably. How do you feel about drinking blood?
I think
staple guns.
I think it was...
Did you see that?
I think Hangman, and you're referring to Hangman versus Swerve.
In the Texas Death Match.
I saw clips. I didn't watch that whole event.
I
didn't watch the pay-per-view. I didn't watch the whole match. Good for them. I buy into the Hangman Swerve feud enough to where I think that it warrants that type of match. I'm not knocking.
Did you see the blood drinking
match spot? Yeah, I watched the clip
where he laid underneath of him and let it pour into his mouth.
Poured in. Yeah, like
terrible. It was bad.
It was all right. Like I'm not as weirded out by the actual blood drinking as most people, as much as I keep going back to I want AEW to exist. I want AEW to thrive. Is that how they're going to do it? I'm not knocking the match. Great match. I love me a good, gory, knockdown, bloody death match. I love that kind of stuff. And that was a great match. I'm not knocking the match, knocking the performers.
I haven't seen anybody go through a whole match with staples through their pecs. And it was pretty insane. And he stapled stuff to his face. But
when's the news going to be about the stars, not the gore?
Oh, no, I'm with you. But that's why I'm saying it was a little much with the blood drinking and shit like that. And it
was much. It didn't shock me, but I 100% agree it was a lot.
I need you to watch the match from start to finish, and because that was within the first 2 minutes or first 3 to 5 minutes, because Hangman just came out like a maniac, and it was just unbelievable. The amount that he was bleeding early on, and it was just a little out of control. It was. You have to watch the whole match and tell me what you think once you do, because I will say this: another one of our favorite matches had Strickland in it, if you recall. Weapons of Mass
Destruction, one of the greatest I will argue this point into the ground. Weapons of Mass Destruction from Lucha Underground, Swerve Strickland and Marty the Moth is one of the greatest fucking wrestling matches of all time.
Unbelievable. Killshot.
The drama of Killshot's kicks to Marty the Moth's jaw, when Marty had already taken so much abuse and so much violence and so much shit. And there were moments in that match where you legitimately get enveloped in the moment. You get so bought into the idea of like, I want him to stand up, get the fuck up, get to your feet, Marty, get back to your fucking feet. And you're yelling. And that match is fucking amazing. And that's a testament to Swerve has gone from being released from WWE to having one of AEW's most historic matches.
Wait,
whether you like it or not, one of
absolutely.
the matches that's going to go down in history as
100%.
one of the things people remember that company did.
Wait, are you telling me that you didn't see the intros or how Shane Strickland came out and the?
Oh, I watched the I've already watched the entrance like 20 times. The fact that Prince Nana is so over with the
dance
dancing
is over and the crowd.
I'm still taking we're taking a little bit of credit. We're taking like,
I don't think we should.
Like if this was COVID, we were the first in this scenario. I'm not saying that we're like,
We were talking about that dance a long time
We
ago.
we were pretty ahead of the curve when it came to the Prince Nana dance. I'm just saying. I'm not saying we got it over.
They have leaned into that, and I love it.
It's
every bit
the
of it.
best thing on the
The
planet.
fact that they made the girls make it look impressive like an actual dance as opposed to what he's doing, and he's doing the funny version.
It
They're
looked
doing
like
a
he was
professionally
part of the
choreographed version.
choreography, even though
Right. Oh, 100%.
I feel like he wasn't. I feel like
Yeah.
he was just doing Prince Nana, and
100%.
they were dancing around him. It felt like he was part of the show. And this is one of the moments where the camera guys did WWE level camera work, because the
so
camera panned to the left of like Nana and caught Swerve right as Swerve walked past Nana.
Oh, yeah.
So it had that perfect silly, serious. Like it perfectly transitioned right into the mood of the match. Like I will 1000% stand behind that. I think Swerve
Should be champion of some sort.
Swerve's a standout of AEW. I'm gonna say it. Like he has more upside long term, I think, than anybody else in that company. Like MJF's wonderful, Kenny Omega's Kenny Omega, all these other people are great, but I think if you had to tell me who's gonna keep being on the level they're on longest, it's gonna be Swerve. I still don't buy the fact that he fizzled out in WWE.
No, not at all.
They didn't know what to do with him
at all.
He's amazing.
Oh yeah,
So-
I want him and Ospreay in a few years. Can you picture that? That would be fantastic.
A swerve when I
Make it
bruv.
happen.
A swerve when I bruv.
There you go.
So we've got that going on in AEW, and in WWE we've got one comeback to talk about.
It's Orton. I mean, that's just basically how they did it.
Yeah, they did. They literally just on Monday Night Raw was like, "Hey, by the way, Randy Orton's coming back at Survivor Series."
Someone I have a legacy with. I mean, make it a surprise.
Well-
I mean, do you agree? I mean, what do you think of the way they did it? Why announce it that way?
Because everyone thinks it's going to be CM Punk.
Yeah.
And it's not going to be CM Punk. Like, I think with it being in Chicago, and dude, I don't think CM Punk comes back to WWE now.
Does the crowd take over the show?
Not now. I think that was how you avoided it. I think you had to pop that bubble, because if they waited until the match and everybody else came out, and then everyone was like, "Oh, it's Punk," and you hear, "I hear voices in my head. They talk to me. They like." It's a great song, but people would start booing.
You would almost
just because it wasn't Punk.
You would get the Daniel Bryan Royal Rumble effect.
In reverse.
Everybody wanted it. Yeah, everybody wanted it to be this.
Yeah.
And because it was Batista, people snapped.
And that's what I think. That's what that was. Is we got to say it's Orton, so people don't walk into the arena thinking it might be Punk. Now, there's that whole thing where is Punk the guy that Nakamura's talking about? I don't think so.
No.
I think you'd waste Punk on a comeback against Shinsuke Nakamura. Like, if he's not on the Survivor Series team or wrestling Seth Rollins, then don't have him come back.
Yeah.
Like, there's not many people that you could have Punk come back and work, like, immediately work with. I mean, off the top of my head, it's Seth. I don't think you do Roman.
Seth was my only thought for Will Ospreay, basically.
Cody?
At that moment.
Cody. You could have done Cody Ospreay. Cody would have put him over. Cody would have done really good promos to, like, get you hyped. He would have been able to talk about all of Ospreay's accomplishments and gotten him over to, like, or at least gotten him, like, exposed to the regular WWE audience.
Yeah.
But Randy Orton, I get why they announced it. I think it's gonna be a letdown. Because as cool as Randy Orton is, it's still just Randy Orton coming back again. I mean, I've seen Randy
If
Orton
he's
return.
if he's as good as he was, he's still one of the best.
I mean, he's one of the best, 100%. Absolutely. But I mean, I think we all wanted something bigger at Survivor Series.
Do we? I really don't care.
We'll find
Got
out.
a good Full Gear. Full Gear was awesome.
Full Gear was okay.
This tequila's awesome.
That tequila is
was
amazing.
awesome.
This beer is about to be done. Thanksgiving. Make sure you guys indulge with your families. Don't talk politics. Remember, if you believe in something, there's somebody that believes the opposite just as much as you sitting at that table. Shut the fuck up and eat the turkey.
Oh, man.
Take your shit outside.
Take a shit outside?
Take your shit outside.
Oh. It's like I had a family member once who I'm pretty sure would... Never mind. Cheers.
Cheers. People of the internet, this has been Thirsty Thursday. It's Thanksgiving. Once again, go eat your fucking food. Tune out of this podcast. Thank you for tuning in. Once again, I'm Mike.
I'm Brendon.
Happy Thanksgiving, y'all.